Okay, so I'm going to do my eyebrows, and today I'm going, just knocked over stuff, I'm going to use my Shiseido eyebrow pencil. This is a Japanese one. It's from Shiseido Japan. It's in the shade black. If you want to find this, you can find it very easily. Just Google Shiseido Japan eyebrow pencil. If it looks like it costs between $5 and $9, it's the right one. It should be very short. This is literally what it looks like. This is, I've only sharpened this once or twice, so this is the length, and it will be very, very, very cheap. Now, it is a wooden pencil. You do have to sharpen it, but I think that if you're looking for a dirt cheap eyebrow pencil and you have natural black hair and you're looking for the non-Sharpie black eyebrow pencil of your dreams, it's this and Espresso Brow Balance are my favorites right now. So I'm just gonna use this one today because I feel like it. I did find my Espresso Brow Balance, by the way. I did eventually find it. I had already put it away with all of my clean makeup, so that's why you haven't seen me use it in a while. It's not because I suddenly hate it, it's because I just don't have access to it right now. And I am hoping to shift around my filming setup. I want to move it so that it's on the opposite side of the room from where the air vent is, because I am so tired of having to constantly try to post-process the audio to reduce the amount of noise that it makes, because sometimes it just is absolutely unbearable, and then I have to try and denoise it, and sometimes when I denoise it, it can screw up the audio balance of everything. So I'm in the process of moving that, and once I move that, I should have access to everything again. My eyebrows are definitely on the messier side today. I feel like I've not been as good at doing my eyebrows as I usually am. I guess because I've just been filming so inconsistently, so I just have to keep remembering how I do my brows. I definitely feel like my brows have seen better days. Like today they decided to be Instagram 2012 block brows. So I'm just going to take a spoolie that's on the end of something else, some different product, and see if I can just blend this out just a little bit. And then I'm also going to take a brush and use it to try and clean up the outer part as well. I'll use my brow flick, and frequently I find that if I screw up on the pencil end of things, a brow flick can still help kind of rescue my mistakes. Eyebrows are on. I should have put on eye primer beforehand, but anyways, my eyebrows are definitely on the heavy side today, which I did not intend to do because I wanted to have slightly more subtle brows for the red lip. But yeah, this is what we're going with. We're gonna have heavy brows today. That's okay, we'll work with it. No, I don't need eye primer because I'm going to be using very, very, very little eyeshadow today, like super, super little amount, because of the fact that I want to do something else. So I'm just kidding. I don't need any eye primer. So I'm going to just take a pretty sizable brush, and I'm going to be doing a really, really like almost no, like this is going to be probably the least amount of eyeshadow I've ever put on myself in my entire life. So I'm going to be using the strawberry, the 03 Blackcurrant Cold Brew. This is from Flower & Nose, and the reason I'm using it is because it's on my desk and I grabbed it first. I'm going to just create something that is super, super simple. This is a cooler toned palette, so if you wanted to do something more on the neutral side that is warmer toned, you can of course do that. I'm just sticking to the lighter shadows in this palette, so. And like it like barely makes a difference, but I really don't want to use too much today. I have so many bumps out here, it's annoying. And then to mattify and kind of conceal all of these wrinkles, I'm going to use the lightest shade in this palette. This will also add some brightness to the look, like a matte highlight of sorts. If you have some kind of like double eyelid, then it's very popular to take the darker shadow and run it across the line of your double eyelid to make the double eyelid look deeper. That is a very common thing to do, you can do that, but since I have monolids, I'm just going to be doing a simple vertical gradient, starting at my lash line and then moving upwards. Like, if any of you guys follow Pony Makeup, then you'll know that she has lately in her videos been doing such simple eyeshadow looks where she literally only uses 1 or 2 eyeshadows that are barely darker than her skin tone, and then the rest of her focus is mostly on the cheeks and lips or the lashes and the liner. So I'm just gonna kind of be channeling that energy right now, which is so difficult for me because I always am tempted to just keep piling on, but I'm going to resist that today. Now that I think about it, I might have been better if I'd switched to using the warmer palette just because the shades in that are lighter, but it's fine. I do like to make my lower lash line pull down a little bit lower than normal because my mid face is very, very long. So pulling it down a little bit more is good. My skin is not looking good all of a sudden. I think maybe mixing the under eye brightener with the foundation didn't go so well. Bummer. I thought I would try that today. And then I'm gonna use the lightest shade just to blend that out. Okay, so next I'm going to do the eyeliner, which I know I did barely anything, but I'm gonna do the eyeliner. Today I am going to use a gel eyeliner because I want the precision. So I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner in the shade Espresso Ink. I do really want to try the eyeliners from the Pro 8 brand, and I'm going to use Espresso Ink because I don't really want to use a completely black eyeliner. Espresso Ink is an almost black, but it still has a tiny bit of ashiness to it, and I'm going to use this today. This is not my favorite angled brush to use with the eyeliner, but it is the only one I have that is not in my wash pile, so I'm just going to use it. I totally didn't just make a mess, but that's fine. So I'm gonna do a longer winged liner today. Yeah, this is definitely not my preferred brush to do this with. Is my eyeliner dried out already? I just got it. I've only had this eyeliner for maybe 6 to 8 months now. It cannot already be dry. Did Ulta sell me old stock? This is so dry, what the heck? I think was Bobbi Brown trying to discontinue this, and so they just they made it half off on 21 Days of Beauty and then just sold off the old stuff? Like, is that what they did? Okay, so I was hoping for a much darker and defined line, but I am not getting that right now because this is borderline crumbly. It looks alright though. I will go over this with eyeshadow to touch it up. So you can see I made it just thick enough that it is showing. If you have monolids, just work with what you got. And I did angle it out more horizontally this time as opposed to super strongly vertical, just because I wanted it to be, just wanted that look today. I've been into more horizontally angled eyeliner lately. I feel like it's just much easier to pull off if you have monolids that are shaped like mine, but do whatever shape you prefer. I may see if I can like add some Duraline to this, see if that helps. This Duraline is so freaking old, but it still works. So I've only maybe opened it 4 or 5 times in the years that I've had this, and I know it says 9 months on the thing, but seems fine to me. Although this brush is going to be a nightmare to wash later. They're pretty symmetrical. That's always the hard part. Okay, yeah, the Duraline definitely helped, so that is looking pretty good. I mean, I guess it's fine. I only paid half price for this. It's not like I paid full price for this, but I am surprised at just how quickly this dried out because my melt ones are still functioning just fine, so I'm very surprised. Okay, well, I will leave that on my desk because I don't actually know if I want to hold on to that, if it's gonna be so, like, if its lifespan is gonna be that short. Which, speaking of, I got the Lethal and Teresa is Dead gel liner in the dark burnt red shade, and then I literally never used it. I'm so scared to even open it because I'm sure it's gonna be dried out before I even touched it, which is super awkward, but oh well, it happens. Okay, so I wanted to do very, very minimal eyeshadow with very, very clean defined liner. How clean my eyeliner is definitely up for debate. So I'm going to go ahead and take a darker eyeshadow and overlay it on top because I do kind of want some actual depth. I'm going to take a black from a Pat McGrath palette, so I'm just opening up Mothership II, and I'm going to use the black very, very delicately and see if I can just enhance the depth a little bit that way. Okay, and then I am going to go ahead and I want to do some lower lash line definition as well. Not too much, so I'm going to go back into the strawberry palette and I'm just going to take the darker shades at the end. And again, I'm just going to very carefully stick close to my lower lash line. Just kind of like that, just keeping it really tight. I could go for something a little bit more Douyin-esque, but I don't think I have the confidence yet to pull it off. I'm working on it though. So I'm just gonna keep it clean like that. Okay, so my skin is kind of breaking up. I think mixing the Fenty brightener with the foundation actually was a really bad idea because it looked good to start with, but now my skin is kind of breaking up a little bit and it's really emphasizing a lot of my bumps. Either that or I'm just getting a lot of bumps in real time, which I would not be able to explain why. Probably just like nighttime and stress, I guess. I am going to take the glitter topper in this palette and I'm going to use it for my inner corner area. I know that was so obvious. And just kind of focus it right there. And then I also do think I could use just a little bit of it on my eyelid, so I'm gonna take it on my finger. I'm gonna focus it right in the part where like my eye socket is. Just focus it right there. So that as I turn my head, you kind of can see the contour and the shape of my eyeball. Okay, and then I think I really want to use either a stick or a liquid shadow for my lower lash line work. I think will be great. I'll use this stick shadow here in Hail Surge from KVD Beauty. And right now, since it's still sharp on the end, because I hardly use these, I'm just going to take it and gently touch it onto the middle of my eyelid. And then I will use a brush, if I can find it. I will use a brush to just gently kind of spread it out. This one does have a little bit of color to it, so that's why I'm using it. And I'm using such a thin layer and such a tiny amount because these stick shadows from KVD are actually really intense if you let them be. Okay, so that is pretty much the look for the eyes, and so now what's going to be really important is getting my lashes to be really curled, really long. And so for this you could definitely go in with false lashes or individuals, but I want to do something with just mascara. Because I'm too lazy to do individuals right now, so I'm gonna try and do that. Okay, so I was just initially going to curl my lashes off camera and then do mascara on camera, but then I completely forgot, and so I will just quickly go over what I've done so far. So first off, as you can see, obviously I curled my lashes, I curled my upper and lower lashes, and then I put on lower mascara, and as you can see, I purposefully clumped my lashes together. It's very popular in Korea right now to take tweezers and kind of, you know, group your lashes together to make them look a little bit more spiky, a little bit more doll-like. Very trendy in Douyin as well. I'm not really sure where it started first, but it's definitely very popular with idol makeup right now to kind of spike your lashes together. I'm too lazy to do that, so I achieve a similar effect by just forcing the mascara wand to clump my lashes together. I think you can get especially for the lower lashes, you can just force clumping and it pretty much does the exact same thing. So that is why my lower lashes look grouped together the way they do. It's really great, especially if you have really sparse, thin lower lashes. You already don't have very many lashes, you might as well just clump them together and make them look thick and give yourself some spiky doll looking lashes and just call it a day. And then for my upper lashes, I curled them as best as I could, and then I applied a waterproof mascara as a base. So now I'm gonna go over that with a volumizing non-waterproof mascara. So I'm going to take my MAC Stack mascara. This is actually pretty much dried up, so I'm gonna stop using it soon, but when it's almost dried up, what I do is I take the very tip of the wand and I just use it to purposefully add a ton of product to my eyelashes. So I'm not really trying to make my lashes look or comb a certain way. I'm just trying to transfer as much product from the wand to the eyelash as possible. So in order to do that, I am just going to use mostly the wand tip. And for this, I do sometimes go back in several times to get my lashes looking nice and voluminous. And again, I also do enjoy kind of letting the mascara clump them together. I find the MAC Stack mascara is really good at making my lashes look super thick without making them look super spidery. Like I can still maintain these really fluffy ends. So that's what I do like it for. I do have backups of this that I will open. Actually, probably right after this video I will. I'm really focusing depositing the product on the base of my lashes to create the volume that I don't have. Because the tips of my lashes look fine. They're nice and tapered. I don't need them to look super thick or anything. And yes, it is always a pain to remove, but beauty is pain. What can I say? So I think that's pretty good. My lashes are looking pretty good today, so I do sometimes take a little bit extra and just throw it on my lower lashes. My left eye still is having some bald patches, but the lashes should grow in soon. My left eyelashes have such a weird growth cycle, like several of them will fall out at once and grow back in, so I get bald patches for a couple weeks, but now I'm just going to kind of try and make them dry a little bit faster. This is always the fun part, is waiting for them to dry. And I really do have to curl my lower lashes, because if I didn't and I have mascara on my upper lashes, my upper and lower lashes will stick together. Just, you know, monolid Asian lash things. But here is what my eyes are looking like with just mascara, a lot of mascara. I will admit, I do naturally have longer than average lashes for being Chinese. However, they are very thin and they're very sparse. So I always am looking for more volume. My sister's lashes are a little bit shorter than mine, but they are much more thick. Like she's got way more of them across her eyelid. And because she has double eyelids, when her eyes are open, you can see her entire lash from root to tip, whereas when my eyes are open, half my lashes get eaten under my eyelid folding and under itself. So functionally speaking, my sister actually looks like she has longer and more eyelashes than I do. Even though technically mine are longer, she has more of them and she has a double eyelid. So when you have monolids and you've got, you know, you want to make your lashes more visible when you have monolids, you need to get your lashes curled. And I'm not talking C curve, I'm talking J curve. You need to get that L curve going. Like you need to make your lashes stand up straight or else nobody's gonna see them. So, and get that lengthening mascara, get that volumizing mascara. I've been using multiple mascaras for probably 2 or 3 years at this point, and I just think it looks so much better than trying to use one. So unless I can find the one mascara that does it all, which I used to. This used to be my favorite, but this is apparently it's being discontinued because all I seem to buy are dried out ones. I'm gonna take this new Benefit Extreme Precision eyeliner in brown. I let it sit upside down for a little bit. I've been shaking it as hard as I can, and I think I've managed to resurrect it to some degree, and so I'm just going to use this to do my inner corner. I think what just happened was that I just, you know, it settled from sitting in one position for so long, and so I just needed to kind of just revive it a little bit, and now it works fine. I'm not sure if this is going to be okay, but this wouldn't surprise me if this was a goner, because in my other video I did mention that I had let this sit for a really long time before I opened it. So this might not make it, but that's okay. I'm just gonna let it hang out and see if I can make it look any better. But in the meantime, my Benefit one is fine. Very happy about that. I will continue to fiddle around with this one. So this is a new one. I'm gonna toss the old one now that I can confirm this new one is working just fine. So as you can see, inner corner liner, it makes such a big difference for my eyes, just getting that sharpness, that definition back. So that is what things are looking like now. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put on the lip first, and then I'm gonna go back in and do the cheeks. I find that when you've got a red lip on, sometimes it can help to get the red lip on early so that you can really judge just how far you want to go with the bronzer, the blush, and everything. So this is the Romand in Dovey Pink, and the reason I like using this is because it corrects the hyperpigmentation. And then my favorite red lip is a gift, and it's my favorite mostly because it is a gift. Is it just me, or did Dior reformulate their lips once and then they reformulated them again? Like, is it just me, or did that happen really, really fast? I can't be the only, like, anyways, these were redone. The price probably went up again. They are refillable. They are clean. This one is an older formulation. The new packaging to me also looks really, really bland and cheap. I did really, really like the patterning and the embossing of the metal that accompanied the logo. The new packaging has a really, really minimal look to it, where it's basically logo without any of this textural detail. I can't say I like it. It's just 999 is the classic Dior red. It smells like candy. Which is so funny that like a Dior lipstick smells like candy. So first, I work on getting all the way up to the edges of my lip liner, and I just tap lightly with the bullet so that it looks nice and soft and blurred. And then once I kind of have all of that established, I will go over it again and actually get the pigment down. And I do focus most of the pigment on the inner part of my lips. My lips are a little bit dry for this today, I will be honest. I am having some dryness, so probably not the greatest day for me to be wearing a matte red lip. It's actually a little bit warmer than I remember. It's pretty bright, but anyways. And I do really like wearing darker lips like this because it lets me kind of upturn the corners of my mouth, contour them to make them look a little bit more upturned instead of downturned. So you can see I did that with the red lipstick as well. So this is what it looks like. Not the most flattering on me just because my lips are so dry right now, but I'm going to go for a more neutrally kind of bronzer, and I think my complexion is not looking good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a powder product. It's not, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but I am not having a good complexion day today. Okay, so I'm going to use my cute little hot chocolate bronzer. It actually is very neutral once you mix all the colors together, and I'm going to use this to add just a little bit of dimension to my face. I've seen some people wear a red lip with nothing but bronzer. Some people can pull it off, but I don't think that's gonna be what I do today. I really need to do more research on what people wear with red lips. Like, I definitely should probably look more into this because I never have any idea. I think this might work. It's called Milk Tea Coral, which seems quite appropriate. So I'm going to just take a very diffused blush brush. This is a Luxie Pro Tools brush. You definitely can't get this anymore, which is such a shame. They were really nice, but they were very expensive for what they were. Once they discontinued them and they put them on sale, that was when I stocked up. So, you know, I'm part of the problem here, I will happily admit, but they are really, really good. I feel like they are kind of starting to feel just a little bit outdated just because we do have so many more options now, especially with Sigma having more sales these days. I feel like Sigma definitely is more accessible. I do really want to try the Singe Beauty brushes sometime. I just don't have the budget for them yet, but hopefully I can try them soon. So as you can see, I'm just gonna focus this on the outer portion of my face. This has a little bit of red to it, so I think this will be perfect. It's a little bit warmer than I was expecting, but this red is a little bit warm too. So the orange coral undertones of this blush are really pulling the red into a warmer red. It's okay, I'll be honest, if I had paid full price for this Dior lipstick, which I think was what, like $40 to $45, however much they are these days, I think I would have been really disappointed because I will be honest, it's nothing terribly special. Like, I feel like I could find a Korean lipstick that does the exact same thing, which is why I never ended up buying more shades myself. I just have this one. Okay, I think I applied too much blush. I got carried away. This happens to me every time, but that's okay. I haven't even put on setting powder yet, so I'm going to use the setting powder. It's just the one that's been sitting on my desk. I'm just using this while my other setting powders are in the, you know, clean pile. For me, as far as luxury lipsticks go, I hear a lot of people be like, oh, luxury lipsticks, you're just buying it for the name. It's like such a waste of money. Anyone who buys a luxury lipstick is dumb. I can agree with the sentiment that you are kind of just buying it to have the pretty lipstick with the logo, because, at least for Dior anyways, I can kind of agree with the sentiment. But I definitely do feel like there are luxury lipsticks out there that I've tried in the past where I'm like, okay, this is actually really good, and I haven't really ever found anything comparable to it in any other price range. So I dispute that point, but only for specific luxury designer brands. Like, I do really want to try one of the Prada ones. I do really want to try the Hermes Balms, but those are always limited edition, and I missed the last one. The last one I really, really wanted was that purple. Long gone. There's no way I'm ever going to get my hands on that anymore, but I would have loved to. But the one designer brand where the lipsticks are just, I feel like I can't find anything comparable in a cheaper market, the one luxury brand, YSL. And so, of course, to nobody's surprise, my largest luxury lipstick collection is indeed YSL. They also do sales often enough that I didn't pay full price for hardly any of them. Okay, so as you can see, I toned down the blush significantly. I also did use the setting powder to rescue my complexion, which was starting to break up big time. So now my complexion is looking a little bit more smoothed over, which is good. So I'm gonna put on just a little bit of highlighter. When I do wear a red lip like this, I do prefer my skin to look a little bit more on the matte side, but I think just a tiny bit of shine will help. My eyes are so shiny, it would look weird for me to have nothing else. I'm going to just go ahead and use the highlighters from the CLIO Shade and Shadow palette. So I'm going to use this top shade up here, which is super, super soft, but makes for a really pretty highlighter. And I'm just going to apply just a little bit of this just so I have just a little bit of glow. Like just enough that it kind of just looks like my natural skin. I don't want to look hyper matte today. And then a little bit on my chin. That's pretty much all I'm gonna go for. So very, very minimal amount of highlighter. This is such a good palette. I truly, truly think that this is one of the best releases coming out of South Korea in the past year. I don't remember when I got it at this point, but this is just, I think, one of the best choices of all time currently coming out of South Korea. If you want to try South Korean shadows, you want to try that beautiful matte smooth blurring formula, but you're sick and tired of seeing shadows from Korea where the palettes are all super, super light with one maybe medium dark shade, or like just like no range at all, and you're tired of seeing chalky shades with no pigment and shimmers that are super crumbly and like pressed chunky glitters that hurt your eyeballs. Try this for sure. And it's usually, it is a little bit on the pricier side of things, but it does frequently go on sale down to like $23 to $25. For that, I do think this is absolutely worth it. So just saying, I do stan this palette and I do wholeheartedly recommend this if you guys are looking for these kinds of shades. I could have used this as a blush today. I do have some videos to film after this. I may add in some graphic elements just for those videos, or maybe just for an Instagram photo I may do it, but I'm gonna end this here. So this is a very simple red lip look. I'm filming this on February 1st, so it's nowhere near Valentine's Day yet, but enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.